Hey guys, it's nice to see you. Bullhorn Betty here. We're still talking about Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old autistic boy missing from Hendersonville, Tennessee. This morning, if you were here for our subscriber-only video or live that we did this morning, you will learn that one of the topics of conversation is about this whole social worker. Oh, thank you, Jules. This whole situation with the social worker and the fact that the CPS call most recently was not related to the belt incident that we've all been learning about, that Chris had stated on Smiley's World. She's a YouTuber on YouTube that I personally know. And she had them, both Katie and Chris, on for an interview. And this was early on in the investigation. I want to say like day 10 or 14 or somewhere around there. You know, he had only been missing just like a couple weeks or less when they were on Smiley's World. And one of the questions that she had asked is, had they ever had any type of involvement with the Department of Children and Family Services? And Chris Proudfoot indicated yes, and indicated how he was an embarrassed 15-year-old boy and how he was told that, you know, this person couldn't, told Sebastian that if he, he could get in trouble next time if he calls or something like that. Well, we have audience members that constantly send me stuff, and I read over the stuff that I'm sent from my audience, because I like looking and listening to different perspectives, and if something perks my curiosity, I always find that it might perk the rest of your curiosity. And so this is a little long-winded, but I did want to go over it with you because I think that it is, in all fairness, some good information that I think at least to make our gears turn and at least think, hey guys, I see you guys coming in. It's nice to see you, my love bugs. I hope you guys are doing well today. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day, right? Happy hump day. So this came from one of our audience members. I'm not sure if on TikTok or YouTube, but it says, oh, thank you. It's nice to see you guys. But it says, wondering if any of these experts picked up on this one little detail of Chris Proudfoot's speech about the supposed lie that he said Sebastian told his teacher and the social worker. He said Sebastian reported him thinking they would remove Chris from the home. He used the word reported instead of saying fabricated it or made it up. Whatever Sebastian reported was too consequential for Chris to even say what it was. A good idea is that it was illegal and CPS should have handed it over to law enforcement to investigate. This person also believes that CPS violated Seth's rights as a father to be informed. I doubt if it's about rock and roll, but it could be about S or substances. KP quit working and then shopped for a Harley. Maybe this was why the Proudfoots and Bowersocks are the big frogs in the little pond and one in local LE. They don't want anyone in their house to find their stash of whatever. Yes, that was bad to hear about what happened to Charlotte. My friend's daughter is an LE up there. Oh, and she's going into some other things unrelated. So I did want to say this. There's a lot of misconceptions, in my opinion, about the financial wealth of the Bowersocks as well as the Proudfoots. And I have stated that on here multiple times that I thought and I actually did several lives about it, that really got under Chris Proudfoot's skin. And I said I think they're living well beyond their means. And I think it's noticeable because of their large lifestyle. And when you look at how much money they're making, yes, they're making a lot of money, but they're also spending a very large, chunk of their money. So how much is that really leaving at the end of the month? I have no idea. But I really don't think people that they're well off as we assume that they are. But that's not really the topic of the conversation that I actually think is interesting. It's the beginning of this where they wonder if, what was the situation truly about that caused the CPS to get involved this time. We were discussing it in our earlier live that, if it wasn't the belt incident, and we have to remember this is coming from Christopher Proudfoot, not the most reliable person for information at all, right? If he says it, trust me, it doesn't make it so. I mean, it needs to be like, I still don't know if the man's had a polygraph. And until he shows me a polygraph report, I ain't believing it, folks. Okay, call me crazy. Many people do, but I'm not believing it. I'm not believing it. But he is professing that he took his polygraph test and he passed with flying colors. Remember the explosions and everything behind me? Right? Well, he didn't. He was not being very forthcoming at the very beginning. He tried to run to the finish line. He wanted everybody to know that he was cleared of any wrongdoing and that he had passed his polygraph. And then some weeks later, after touting he has passed a polygraph test all of this time, he gets on the Nancy Grace show and we find out he lied. And didn't just lied over and over and over again. He kept lying about the polygraph. Why? I don't know why he lied about the polygraph. I don't think any of you guys know why he lied about the polygraph. We can assume why he would lie about a polygraph. But again, it's just an assumption. It's just an assumption. Now, Chris Proudfoot, did he take a polygraph? Did he not? I have no idea. Why in the world was CPS involved? If we believe what Chris Proudfoot said, and this is the stepfather to Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old autistic boy that disappeared. He hasn't been seen. There has been a sighting of what they believe could be him. Another key red flag for me is in this whole situation, the mother, Katie Proudfoot, says, hey, we seen it. We got people that's trying to confirm it now. We're trying to get 100% confirmed. We have the biological father, Seth Rogers, saying, it could very well be my son. I think it might be my son. And then you got Chris Proudfoot, the first to respond, right? Nope, not Sebastian. How would he know? That post has since been deleted. So why in the world was CPS involved in January? We assumed that it was related to the belt because how Chris explained the belt incident on Smiley's World. That's why. He said an embarrassed 15-year-old. He didn't say an embarrassed 12-year-old or an embarrassed 11-year-old. She asked him why would he mesh two incidences into one? She asked him about has he been involved with CPS. He said yes, over a belt incident, and Sebastian was an embarrassed 15-year-old boy because they told him that he could not report false information. So which is it? Was it the belt incident or false information? And if we do believe Chris Proudfoot again, then that means CPS was called for him for another reason other than the belt incident. What could Chris Proudfoot possibly have CPS called on him for other than abuse or belt? What significant information did Sebastian tell his teacher that would provoke a CPS call? It had to have been pretty bad if it wasn't a licking. He's saying it wasn't a licking. It was him, Sebastian, physically telling his teachers something about something that happened inside the home. It makes me very curious because usually words, if there's no abuse, it would have to be something significant to trigger a CPS call. So that is something, and this person is also focusing on the fact that he used the word reported instead of saying fabricated or made up. And you got to focus on people's language as well because people do speak the way that they do speak. Let me see what we got for messages here. We got quite a few. Hey, happy Wednesday, guys. The call last night from T-Reb cannot get out of my head. So those, and I do have that pulled up here. For those that don't know what she's talking about, there was a call in. Now, another creator had a call in of Terry Bowersox. That's Kathy Bowersox is the mother to Christopher Proudfoot, and her husband, which would make it, Terry Bowersox would make it a stepfather to Christopher Proudfoot. His son or stepson called in on another creator, or spoke to another creator, and basically said that Chris Proudfoot is weird, and the whole family, that whole side of the family is weird, and nobody really has a whole lot to do with them. And then there was, I saved it on this phone, and I've got it here. I know I do. And then another person called in on T-Rev. T-Rev is another creator here on YouTube. And he basically explains how weird. I've got it right here. Let's listen.
It's all right, though. 239 was on here. Talk to me. Hello? What's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
Hopefully you guys can hear.
Listen, man, I've been trying to get in touch with you. Half of my family don't talk to him. He is totally weird. I can just tell you this because I know him and his girl. They're both really weird. I don't care if they were in the Navy, whatever. Let me tell you something. They are both narcissists. They are both whacked out of their minds. All they do is they lie constantly. Always have, to the entire family, you name it. Mm-hmm. Chris's mom's the same way. My aunt, she's psycho. She's nuts.
Wow.
But I'm just letting you know that this dude would literally pull frogs apart, stick dead frogs in his mouth when we were younger, all types of crazy, nasty crap. He's weird, dude.
Frogs in his mouth?
Oh, yeah. When we were younger. Oh, yeah. Dude, let me just tell you this. We were 15 years old. He pooped on a mouse, and he walked around with it on a stick and smelled it. That's how weird Chris is.
So this wasn't the only thing.
Mouse.
There was a point when he starts talking about Christopher and some things in the family, and you could hear people behind him saying, "No, don't tell them that." So there's even more. There was a point where he says that Christopher Proudfoot, when he was younger, hurt animals. And so I'm just like, now granted, this is a call-in show. There's no way to verify if that truly is Christopher Proudfoot's cousin. I just want to put that disclaimer out there. There's no way for me to prove it or corroborate it. So I can only let you listen to it and tell you that this is the cousin, the purported cousin to Christopher Proudfoot that does nothing to do with that side of the family anymore and hasn't had anything to do with that side of the family for a significant time, which we've kind of assumed that there was something there because there's a whole segment of the family that's never included into anything. And so that was really obvious up front for me, but, you didn't really hear it. But again, we don't know if that's true. This could be a troll calling in on a talk show, So, oh my gosh, we don't know whether it's true or not, but we do know that Terry Bowersox's stepson had a similar encounter or a similar statement as those you just heard. However, we do know that truly was Terry Bowersox's stepson or relative. So that was corroborated. We definitely knew that one was. So is this accurate? It could be because they kind of mimic each other. Just saying. What else do we have here? Chris's ex did an interview. She said he was weird and he used to abuse her physically and mentally. Yes, Jen. That was done on Trev Times on YouTube. Trev Time did the interview, and that's Trevor Lee. He also moderates the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers Facebook group as well. And he did a great job on that interview with Nina Gomez. And yes, it when I watched that, I got to tell you, watching it fully through, I was crying. I was a mess listening to her pain. You felt her pain. So it was so heart-wrenching. But that's why I said when we finally saw Chris kind of letting loose on webSleuths just recently, that's how I knew that was the Christopher that he's been hiding. There's the Christopher we've been waiting for, and he came out. I believe he called Sebastian the R word too. Why would the neighbor lie? I don't know. I didn't hear the neighbor say that, but if a neighbor did say that he used the R word, I would believe it. It doesn't seem like Chris. It seems like Chris Proudfoot gets hot under the collar and spits out a bunch of stuff before he realizes what he's saying. You know, it just seems like that's part of who he is, apparently, in my opinion. I always heard that if you hurt animals, you are pretty much, yes. It does go into the psyche and moonlight. Yeah, right there. The SKs. Yep. So I don't really have much, but I thought that was something that you guys can, mull over in your head. How do you think about this? What do you think about this? Like, I think it is pretty interesting about the CPS. Like, why were they there? It wasn't for the belt. We need to remove the belt. So if it wasn't for the belt, what in the world could Sebastian possibly tell his teachers that would warrant a CPS, showing up on your front doorstep? You see what I'm saying? Like, think about it. I mean, how many times has any of our children walked out of the house pissed off at us and went to school and bitched, moaned, and groaned at their teacher or everybody else? We didn't have CPS knocking at our door. So why does Chris and Katie have CPS knocking at their door? We need to figure that out. Was it over the belt incident? I feel like he's not being truthful about the belt incident. I think it happened sooner than later because he said an embarrassed 15-year-old. He was kind of caught with his pants down, and now he's trying to fix the problem because he doesn't want anybody knowing that he hit a 15-year-old boy with a belt. Who at 15 years old warrants a licking of a belt? Even one licking. He's 15 years old. You take their electronics away. You ground them. At 15, you're past lickings. Did you see Seth believes? Yeah, I did. I did, Christy. We actually went on over that earlier in the live, that I found it funny that, you got Seth on one hand saying he believes it's his son. You've got Katie saying that, we've got the photo. We're trying to confirm it 100%. And then you got Chris, the first person that's got to pop off at the mouth saying, oh, not him. They can't even, Chris just doesn't think. He just needs to quit having to be the first person to speak and the last person to end the conversation. He needs to learn that we have 2 ears, 2 eyeballs, and a mouth for a reason. We have 1 mouth, 2 ears, and 2 eyeballs. That might be my pizza. Let's hope that's my pizza. We'll see if that's my pizza. Pizza! Let's see what we got going on here. My pizza. I'm going to have to put you guys down for a second. Hey, it's my pizza! Yay! I need to sign something, don't I? Okay, I have to put you guys down for a second. No? Oh, I don't have to sign.
You don't have to sign, honey.
All right, thank you.
You are so very welcome.
God bless.
Enjoy.
I will. Thank you. All right, guys. Pizza has been delivered. Dun, 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 dun. I've been working on my car, so don't mind. I'm going to turn this around. As I said, I had to do the, did I flip it? I don't think I flipped it. I think I might have to take my green screen off. I don't know. Did you guys flip? I don't know how to flip the camera. Let's see if you guys can see. You guys can't see my pizza. Hold on. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. That's the meat lovers. Oh, the pesto shrimp. Like this right here is the reason why I should get restrictions on TikTok right there. Because that right there is a lethal pizza, baby. Lethal pizza. All right, now I got to remember how to turn this. I told you I'm not techie at all. Tell me that doesn't look good. Look at that. Look who this is. So, as you hear, this is just going to be a one-off, and then I'm gonna close out with Brian Kohberger. Judge rules that Brian Kohberger's jury survey can go forward. there's some stuff going on. You know, it seems like the alibi, holy crap, like the state is going after the alibi, saying that's no alibi. It needs to be with specificity and all this other stuff, and they're just not doing it. So there's going to be a lot of fireworks coming on in the Idaho 4 case. This is Brian Koberger. He's accused of doing the unthinkable, sneaking into a house of unknown people and unaliving 4 University of Idaho students in their off-campus housing on November 13th in what they believe is only 9 minutes. It is a crazy case, and so we'll be monitoring that as well. And lastly, if Chris and Katie really do have hurt feelings about us all being so mean to them, one of the audience members that are subscribers to the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers has the hurt feelings report that they can fill out and submit, and we'll see if we get reprimanded, but we'll just have to see where the report goes, guys, okay? The HR department will handle it. We need to let the HR department do their thing, okay? So I don't want, if they come to you, I want you guys to be truthful, okay? Okay, the HR department don't play. All right, guys, I love you. God bless. Thanks for hanging out with me, and we will see you later this evening. Bye, guys.